Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, it's been several weeks since I posted a brief update and wanted to give you a quick insight into where things are and what's going on. I've been sort of tied up with those big life events like, getting my child off to college and picking a college and doing the college visits and all that stuff. So it's been pretty hectic and we're this close. So wish me luck. That's coming up pretty soon. So looking forward to getting that behind us. But in the meantime, I have been working on an estate sale that's strictly vintage audio. And that is posted in the estatesale.net site. So if you look for that, look in North Carolina and you will then, if you could search on vintage audio, you will find it out between Charlotte and Asheville. And you can see currently what I've got listed. I'm going to continue adding to it, including these speakers, which is a set of B&W 803 Nautilus speakers. And they will be posted and priced accordingly because one of them is not working correctly. So these are something I haven't shown you before because I hadn't gotten a chance to get to them and fix them. But this speaker has an issue. It's got a very low output on the tweeter and the mid-range. So it needs some work. I don't know offhand what it is it needs, but I'm going to sell them as is. So look for those if that's something you're looking for, a project set of speakers. They're in relatively good shape, a little bit of fading on tops, I'll say, but no major big scratches or any chips or anything like that. Grills need probably, there's no major holes in them, but there are some wear and some dust and things. So if you wanted to redo them and make them real snazzy, you could do that. If you're not familiar with what these look like on the inside, here's what they look like. So, a very nice looking speaker. One that I like the sound of. I never gotten a chance to hear the full set at their full performance. However, I do like what I hear, and they sound to me very nice. And a lot of folks I've read describe them as bright, and I didn't experience that, or at least it didn't seem that way to me. I have a smaller set of bookshelf B&Ws and have liked those very much. So for me at least, I've never found them to be bright, which is unusual because just about any speaker I've ever heard that was somewhat called bright, I found them bright immediately. But anyway, make sure that you are familiar with these if this is something of interest. Lots of other stuff is coming up, a lot of things you haven't seen and I haven't gotten a chance to do videos of. But I just have to get things up for sale. I don't have time to finish everything. I do plan to try and capture video and then come back later and finish up some videos of things. But I'm going to have to get things posted faster than I can create a video for them. This is a set of IMFs. I've talked about those before. These are the very top, the top of the line models. Somewhat very hard to find really, but they're beautiful speakers. Transmission line, if you're not familiar with them, they're a great sounding speaker. What I haven't talked about before are some ARs. Now this is a set of AR3s, and if you're not familiar with AR, you should be. If you're into vintage audio, you need to know a little bit about AR history. And acoustic research, put the acoustic suspension on the map and redefined speaker technology in the 1950s. And so they are a stalwart in audio history, and you should really read up on them. This is the AR3, one of their very early models. The very first one was a 1 and a 1W, but the 3 is a fantastic model. Now, these are in great shape. They have the labels on the back, and so I redid them. One of the things that kind of fails over time, there's some pots on the back, and they get a little crunchy and stuff over time, and they don't perform too well. So you can go through, and there's a little guide out there, and you can go through it and sort of try to restore them and clean them and things. Or, and the preference I chose, you can put an L-pad on here. And before somebody goes some freaking out that it's not an L-pad, well, I know it's not an L-pad. It's a pot that's back there. So there's a way of making the L-pad perform like a potentiometer, and you add a resistor to that. And that's approved by Roy C. And Roy C. and I spent a lot of time going back and forth, and he helped me to make sure I got it right. So I also sent Roy C. the tweeters for these. They were working, but they were very low output, so I sent them over to Roy. He refreshed them, and they came back fantastic. And they absolutely sound fantastic now. and a speaker that, you know, doesn't let you know that they're actually from the early 60s or 50s. And so it's a much different speaker than it was before I refreshed them. So part of the refreshing process goes from taking out the woofer and then refreshing the capacitors, putting in the L pads, putting it all back together, but sealing it properly. I used sort of the clay material to make sure it's sealed up. That's kind of as closest to the original material that you can get. And got them back together, and they sound phenomenal. The cabinets on these are in very, very good shape and all original. I have left the grills off for now because these have grills that are glued on, not nailed on, or without Velcro or magnets or anything else. So they are glued on. I wanted to leave them off until you guys got to see them, but at some point I will be gluing them back on. Now this pair is completely restored and they are working fantastic. There's another pair. I was in the process of trying to get the grills off. Now, as I mentioned, they're glued on and it's a bit of a bear. This set, sort of through heat or sitting, I guess, over time, the speaker grills came off on their own, so I didn't have to worry about these. However, this set of boogers over here, they're still there. They are still adhered very, very well, and I've been struggling to get them off without damaging the grill. So I'm not going to get a chance to finish it. It doesn't look like it. I was really working to try and get that grill off there, and I was using all the techniques that everybody talks about and trying to get them off, and I just couldn't get them before it's time to redo them. Now, oh, by the way, this set has the boxes, original boxes. This set is in excellent condition as well. I would say even actually a little bit better condition than these, you know, slightly, but I do not have the boxes for those. But they are beautiful speakers, and unfortunately I'm going to have to sell them as is. I'm not going to have a chance to go through them and refresh them like I've done with this set, but they'll be priced accordingly for that. But just wanted to give you a heads up. You're seeing some tape and stuff on there, and that's so I don't, you know, when I was trying to get the grills out, not damage or scratch the edges of the veneer. So that's what that's about. Other things that'll be for sale. This is a VPI Aries Scout turntable with the box, so that will be posted as well. It's a beautiful little turntable. And let's see, over on this side, there is a McCormick phono preamp that will be posted. Some of this other gear, I'm going to keep it for a little bit longer because I need my system here to be able to show off speakers and demo speakers and things. So some of these things will still be here for a while. And let's see, so I think I might get behind the camera and show you around about what's still available and what's going to be added to the list. Some of this stuff you've seen, but there's going to be some things you haven't seen yet that I'm going to speak to, and you guys can find out a little bit of information. Some of this stuff is quite rare and probably something you will never see again. All right, so of quick note, there is a Krell amp here that's a KSA 200S. I have the box for that as well. That's going to be coming up. It's not on there just yet. Some things that you may not have seen, there's this Parasound preamp. This is a Heathkit integrated amp. I don't think I've shown that off before, but it's very cool. The rest of these items over here have been on the list for a while, and you'll see them on there now. And let's see, this beautiful Yamaha 1020, CR 1020. I have the original box for this. It is in absolutely gorgeous condition. I'm going to be posting this as well. I've been debating whether I was going to post it or not, so I'm going to do that. This is a Macintosh C24 preamp, all original. It's going to need to be rebuilt, but that is going to be on there as well. Let's see, some other stuff that has already been listed, so nothing really new here. This MC240, this unit is in original shape. It needs to be rebuilt, but it does work. My tech did bring it up just briefly to make sure everything's working. Again, it needs to be rebuilt. Do not think you could buy this and just plug it in and use it. It has to be rebuilt. So I want to emphasize that because somebody didn't listen to me and still thought they were going to be able to continue running it without, you know, getting it rebuilt. But this one is in the kind of shape that's going to require it be rebuilt. So it's got a little rust on it here and there. Let's see, the 2330 has been up there for a while. Haven't posted this one just yet. I'm kind of waiting a little bit longer. I need to sort of demo a few things, but this is a C24. It's in beautiful shape. Got a beautiful case with it. This one will be posted pretty soon. The MR71 is on there. The monoblocks here have been recapped. Those are posted. Let's see, the little pilot tones, those are posted now. So those are on there. Let's see, moving down, I think I skipped over this beast of a Eagle 7A. I talked about that before. There is a Dynaco ST70 here. It's my last one. I had several of these. This one needs a little bit of work. It's got a little bit of rust pitting here and there, but should be just fine. This is that beautiful HK. Here's some new stuff you haven't seen. The SAI 102. Little integrated amp, and the SAE T102. That's a little tuner that goes with it. Kind of cool. These are from, I think, the early 80s time frame, 81, 82. I have the boxes for both of these as well. Down here, a nice, beautiful set of Yamaha separates. And I'd been debating if I was going to keep these, but I'm going to sell them. They are original. I haven't done anything to these, so you might want to have sort of the transistors reset, that kind of stuff. But these do work in good shape. And let's see, I've been really moving stuff around. This guy here is very cool. This is an early phase linear CD player, front loader, stays vertical. As all of these need a little bit of work to kind of get them going again, but it does power up, but it's going to need a little bit of work to get it there, but it does work. Another C24, this is my second one. And let's see, I've got a little Sansui receiver over here. Now let's see, I'm going to have several little bookshelves here, some realistics, and that little set of B&Ws here as well. So let me go to the back and see what's going on. All right, I'm going to step into the back, and here are the AR boxes I mentioned earlier for that other set of AR. A little banged up, but they are still here. All of the internal stuff is there with them. An old set of AR. I've got some very nice set, a couple sets of AR4s, 4X, 4AX. Got another set of AR3s. Let's see, down here, on the left side, that's a restored set of AR3As I restored some time ago. I need to get them, unpack them a bit. That back side is a set of Fraser 7s, big speaker. I've recapped those, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I think. Let's see, a little set of HPM 40s from Pioneer. And let's see, up there are some Polk Monitor 7s. Got some Kloss. M100 speakers there. Down here, if anybody is up for a little bit of a cool refurbishment, I've got some Braun 810s with the stands. These are really cool speakers. They do need some work. There is some, one mid is out, so you'll need Richard. Richard already said he could fix it. You'll want to send the pair over there, but everything else works. And I was going to take them to an auto shop and get them an auto paint on them, and they would look, maybe another color even, but they would look so cool. So those are coming up as well. Let me show you some of the coolest speakers ever back here. I've not got a chance to show you these guys yet, but there are only 36 pair of these things made, and I'm not going to get to do them justice like I wanted to. They need a full restoration. They are all original. These are Wilson WAMMs, and they're from 1981, and they are serial number 2. And about the coolest speaker you will ever find. Again, they only made 36 pair. The last sets of these were selling for about $220,000. So not an inexpensive speaker. I would say they're one of the very first early true exotics. And a set of these new today, of course, they look different than this. They're called the Chronosonic now. And a set of these today would, I think they start around $750K. So, you know, not for the faint of heart or the faint of wallet, that's for sure. So they're expensive. This is an array. This is, you know, a left and a right array on the left side. And to the right back there in the cellophane, that's the subwoofer that goes with them. So there's a subwoofer that pairs and stands next to each one of these. So they are a tour de force. Now, you're seeing these posts up here. I'll kind of point to them. These posts, there are drivers that go on the end of these posts. Now, these posts are adjustable. They get adjust in and out. So that was to adjust the phasing. Dave Wilson would come out to your house and adjust these and take a tape measure from the end of those speakers where they were mounted. And I have the speakers, they're just not mounted right now. I had they are ADS drivers on there, and I had the tweeters refreshed by Richard So, because I got them done because I didn't want him to run out of inventory. So they have been refreshed. So he would measure, Dave Wilson would measure from the speaker to your listing position, to your nose, basically, for every single driver. Another driver, went right here on the end of this pole. So there were two ADS speakers that went on each array. And so I have them all. They're not missing. They are here. And down here is a bass bin, and there were two KEF woofers on the front side of this to drive the low end for the array. And then, of course, you had the whole separate sub. So these are true exotics. Again, the only 36 pair made. 5 sets have already been known to be destroyed or separated. So there's only about 30 sets left in the world. And again, this is serial number 2. This is the pair you will find, and I have a link to it in the document I have with the description. So there's a link in there showing Dave and his wife that they showcased these at the 1981 Consumer Electronics Show, and it's this pair. So take a look at that. It's again, the only time you'll ever see a pair is right here, most likely. Moving on around, let's go see some other stuff. So back here are the amps that actually paired with those Wilson WAMMs. These are Krell monoblocks. Oh, I'm sorry, not Krell monoblocks. These are stereo. And they're 600 watts Class A each. So they will certainly drive anything you need. A beast all the way around. Back behind them are the Jensen speakers that are out there and available in that beautiful blonde Carina finish. So let's go back this way. Here is one of the largest subwoofers you'll ever see. It's a huge JBL. Can't remember the model off the top of my head, but it is a beast. Here up on the mid rack is some Frasers. Then I've got the beautiful JBL 4411s up top, some small ADS. That set you're seeing right there, that one of those has some water damage to one of the cabinets. As far as I can remember, they do work, but one of the cabinets is messed up. Got some individual, have some separate I have some singles here from JBL, some small speakers, a set of, those are Aztecs. As far as I recall, they don't sound good at all, and but they're cool looking. So here's a set of Pioneer HPM 100s. Down here, a set of Altec Boleros. This is a very beat up pair of Pioneer HPM 100s. These interesting things, these are the crossovers for a set of Apogee speakers. Apogee, some crazy speakers. I have 2 sets of those. So if you know anything about Apogees and you have an interest in them, give me a shout. Moving on back here, this is a set of Fraser 4s or 5s. Can't remember exactly, but they're mid-size set. Got a set of Bose 5s down here, 501s. And let's see, I think that's a set of Macintosh speakers, and behind them are some rectilinears. So got several things over here on this side. Up top, AR12s in the box, a set of 901s in the box, and in this tall box here, a set of quad ESLs in there. So very cool. These are boxes for the rectilinear speakers that I showed you that are down below. There is a Sensui 8 in the box, beautiful condition. Down here, a set of realistic, what are these? I forgot what they are at the moment. Can't remember the name of these. I remembered it as soon as I walked by them, but I think you know what they are. Mach 1s, that's what they are. And these are kind of rare speaker here. It is a set of EV Electro Voice Georgian 400s. You do not see those very often. Great shape, other than there's a cane front on the front of these. Needs a little bit of work, but other than that, they're in very good shape. Let's see, these are the Krell preamps that were paired with the apogees. So those are here. Got EQ, got a concept, which I need to get back to. Somebody wants that. Down here, I've got a beautiful Pioneer F93 in the box. I've talked about this microacoustics before. And let's see, coming on around, got different things back here, some odds and ends of different things that I need to get out. A beautiful little Yamaha 810, CR810. And this is a cool Akai cassette deck here. And then a nice Fisher. This one was recapped some time ago. And I've got a average condition, I'd say, Marantz 6300. And let's see. This is another set of, I got some Krells. Well, I've got two of them, one there and one here that are in the boxes. Need to get those going as well. They're heavy, of course, like all Krells. Back this way is the set of Tannoys, kind of in the back. You can see in the back side of them here, but the Tannoy M1000s are back here. And let's see. Got a bunch of other stuff. It's just not going to be easy for me to see. A lot of parts and tubes and all kind of stuff back this way. But I've got to get in here and start pulling stuff out. But that's a quick overview. Well, that was a very quick run through of a lot of things that I'm still prepping and trying to get them available for you guys. If you saw anything there that I didn't point out, or if I did point it out, either way, give me a shout. Everything is pretty much for sale. So reach out, let me know. I'm not going to be in a position to go shipping a lot of this stuff. You can certainly have somebody come by and pick something up for you. I will work with a white glove service. If there's something like these large speakers, you want to have a service come by and pick them up, I can certainly work with that. If enough people, and there's not a way to coordinate this, but if there are a lot of people that end up buying something and they're all in the similar geography, then I might be able to work something out if it's a good volume of things. But I have a trailer and I could maybe help deliver it partial way. But that's about it at the moment. Those WAMMs, the Wilson WAMMs, are probably the pinnacle of my collection. I'm kind of sad I just didn't get a chance to do them justice like I wanted to. But they need to go to a good home. Somebody that I think wants rarity, wants history, because they're certainly a part of audio history, and something quite exotic. They will need to be gone through completely. Again, they're all original. And my plan was to first have the cabinets completely restored. The Wilson WAMM, they would cover them in any cover that you wanted. And if you wanted them painted, or if you wanted a veneer, or if you wanted anything else to go over them, they would certainly do that for you, which is why there's a lot of variety in what you see in the limited number that were produced. But I would keep this set original because of the picture with Dave and his wife in front of them. I think it sort of represents a point in time of history, and it's documented that way. But the owner is the owner. Whatever the owner decides to do, that's up to them. It's their speakers. But again, if you have any interest, reach out. If you need to have something coordinated to be picked up, just let me know, and we'll figure it out. I think that is it at the moment. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.